Hey, I wanted to share a learning insight with you. Every day on Accordion Love, I onboard new students. I send a video to everyone that signs up for a free trial based on a questionnaire. So every student says their playing level, what they want to improve. Is it hand independence? Is it learning to improvise? And then a genre that they want to learn. And I reply to every student. I onboard every student. Today, I onboarded a few students who chose to increase their song repertoire as the thing that they want to concentrate on, and then around a specific genre. Now, I'll speak for 5 minutes around how to increase your song repertoire. Regardless of the genre that you want to learn, whether it's Italian tarantellas or French musette or this person, Russian folk songs, at a certain level of playing, we're going to start to see repeating chord patterns. What does that mean? I could say for Russian folk songs, if it's in a minor key, G minor, almost always, if it's like this, G minor, we could say that likely I've seen the next chord after the G minor be a D major or a D7. So this is what it sounds like to me. I've seen this 10 times. G minor to a D7 or a D major. D major to G minor. Good. I've seen this in the song Katyusha, right? G minor to D7, D major to G minor. I've seen this in Oczy Czorne, to G minor to D major, to the G minor, to D major, to G minor. I've seen this in Moscow Nights. G minor, D major, to G minor, D, G minor. So how we start to increase our song repertoire is by observing common chord sequences within a genre. The other thing that I'm starting to see is we've noted that G minor oftentimes is repeated by a D, and then it comes back to the G minor. When that doesn't happen, in other songs, I know that a C minor is involved as well. So from a G minor, we oftentimes go to a C minor, back to a G minor, to a D major. Good, right? So I'm starting to lay out this framework of the genre of Russian folk songs. This person happened to answer that. So we do that. Every time we play a specific song within a genre, we say, hey, I've seen that chord sequence before. How we start to increase our song repertoire is by practicing those chord changes. So if I say, hey, you've seen G minor to D major, your 15 minutes of practice, which I recommend, means G minor to D major or D7. Be consistent in your practice. I'm going quickly, but again, the 15 minutes of practice is to play triads, play those chords and their voicings together and separate. So G minor to D7, G minor, D7, G minor, D, G, D, G. So that when we're learning a new song, I could either communicate it to you by saying, hey, this song is G minor to D a bunch of times, and then in the chorus we hit the C minor and the F. And so you're saying, hey, I know those chords, I've played them, not just on my right hand, but again, G minor alternate bass technique to D alternate bass technique, G minor to a D. And again, hand independence is happening. You've done this 100 times, so you don't need to think about it. You've played this often enough that you know when to expect the song to go to the C minor, for example. So I'll pause there. I wanted to give you insight into how I onboard people, this is the same for every genre. Once you've seen that G minor goes to D7, if you wanted to learn about tangos, same chord change. G minor, D7, D7, to G minor, a comparsita, D to G. G minor. Same two chords that we practiced for Eastern European music, same chord sequence that we have for tango. Same chord sequence that we have for rock and pop music as well. But once you start to become familiar with these chord sequences, with these chord patterns, once you start to notice them. So again, we're looking at songs based on chords, not just based on melody, not just based on the notes. Once you start to see these things, that's what you practice, and it becomes so much easier to absorb songs. It becomes so much easier to increase your song repertoire because you see these patterns in a song. You look through a song's chords and you say, hey, there are 3 chords in this song in the verse, and I've already practiced them. I know them. I just wanted to share that insight. I hope you're well. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.